Well, we failed to hit 30 degrees yesterday, so the 13th of June remains the only day of meteorological summer where the temperature hasn't reached at least 30 degrees in the UK. Thanks for clicking on to the Monday edition of Vogan's European Outlook. We didn't even reach the date record, in fact, of 28.3 Celsius. The high yesterday was 28.0 Celsius at Heathrow. And we've got another shot at 30 today, and we've got another shot probably on Wednesday before we start to see things cooling down by the upcoming weekend. Looking at the GFS ensemble here, this is the Madden-Julian oscillation, and it was in the null phase, kind of almost into the centre of the chart here, which indicates less amplification, less enhancement of the MJO pulse as it rotates through the tropics. But we're starting to see it becoming a little bit more amplified as it stretches away from the centre of the graphic here. And it's entering the same phases that we've seen the cool April and May. And it's going to be interesting to see how the second half of June pans out in terms of the upper air pattern, because if this becomes a little bit more enhanced, it may have a little bit more influence on the upper pattern within the mid latitudes as we go through the second half of June. That remains to be seen how much influence this has on the UK weather pattern here overall. But it's interesting to see. I have spoken in the last few videos about the potential for the ridge of high pressure shifting from the western side of Europe into the central and eastern portion of Europe, and that is going to happen especially as we end this work week and begin the weekend and through next week. I think we're going to see the trough that's been focused over the North Atlantic and Greenland start to kind of push its way eastwards, and it's shifting the core of the heat eastwards over Europe here. So temperatures, like I say, could reach 30 degrees on Wednesday. We've got a cold front sliding southeast at the moment over the UK. That is going to keep the temperatures trimmed back slightly at 25 as opposed to 28 in the southeast during the course of today. Then that frontal system pushes through. We've got another little surge of heat that comes on Wednesday. That could, say the temperatures could go up towards 29, 30 degrees in the southeast of England. And then as we end this work week, we see the trough then start to push its way in more bodily into the UK here, and we're shifting the heat. Now, temperatures yesterday hit 37 in the south of France yesterday, and we could see temperatures go into the low 30s in places such as Paris today, and then mid 30s possible on Wednesday in Paris. That could be an earliest 35 in Parisian history, I believe, if that materializes on Wednesday. So it'll be interesting to watch that. But there's quite decent agreement in the models that we have a relatively warm week this work week, and then we'll start to see things changing around here. But I want to look here at this is the northern hemisphere pattern here, and we've got, of course, the trough generally centered over Iceland here at the moment. The ridge of high pressure has been keeping things warm to very warm across Western Europe. That's now starting to shift its way slightly east, and we'll notice here that as this starts to become a little bit more pronounced, starts to lean in towards the UK, you then shift the heat into Central Europe here, and that's what's going to happen, I think, in the coming days. So this is the upcoming 5-day period. Big ridge of high pressure, extreme heat across western portions of the United States. We've got a trough over the northeast. Notice here as we go into the day 6 to 10 that we start to see a shift eastwards in the overall pattern. We've got the trough still over the eastern portion of North America. We've got the ridge now back towards the North Pacific. And you notice here that trough, albeit weaker, is now leaning in towards the UK. The core of the heat is now shifted over towards the eastern portion of Europe here. So that's quite interesting to see here, and we'll have a better look at that on the European chart. So this is the upcoming 5 days. Heat centered over Central Europe. We've got two areas of cut-off low pressure, one over Portugal and the west coast of Iberia. The other is over the southeastern portion of Europe here. So we've got this cut-off twin areas of low pressure. And of course, this is the 5-day mean. Then the 6 to 10, you've got the core, the heat, and the ridge centered all the way over towards the east and northeastern portion of Europe. We've got the trough now starting to try and push its way into the UK here. So let's watch this space and we'll see exactly what happens. But we're going to start to see things cooling down, I think, as we push towards the weekend and next week. Hope you have a great day. Back in the next couple of days with more. Bye for now.